Yeah, perhaps we could
dissect.
come back and stick to one question, you know, and said we started by, by saying, can the brain understand itself? What does that mean, really? And is it possible that thought can understand the brain? I think we should stick to that somehow.
Yes.
Would you say, sir, the brain is the center of thought?
No.
Just
Sorry.
let me go. Thought, feelings, physical responses, biological responses. And also, the brain is the center of one's, quote, consciousness, fears, pleasure, anxiety, for all that, sorrow. The whole of that consciousness, if you accept that word, is in the brain. It's not out there.
I'm afraid I would have to disagree.
How delighted.
I don't think that thought or consciousness is in the brain, that this is precisely one of the greatest mistakes.
Wait, sir. Thought is outside.
It's neither outside nor inside. There is a quality of relationship which thought is of.
So then we have to inquire, what is thought?
Okay.
Can we begin with that?
All right.
Yes.
Huh?
Good.
Would you?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. What is thought? What is thinking?
Do you want to go first, or shall I ask me?
Discussion.
Okay, fine. I would say that thought belongs to a form of action which is related to separating, precisely, to separating a unit from its context. That any separation of a unit from its context is a form of cognition or thought. At a fundamental level.
Yes,
therefore, the thought cannot exist without the relationship between that which is distinguished and what it's distinguished from.
Wait a second. Would you say then, do you think that thought is a event that arises de novo, or is it some sort of process event which articulates the separation and arrives at the in other words, that the arrival of thought is the articulation of the separation?
No.
Therefore,
no.
it's
an emergent quality.
It's an emergent, so
yes.
it's not de novo a separation,
No.
it's an emergent event.
Yes.
Right.
If it's emerging, it's emerging.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's important. Emerging not as separation at the instant, but
It's immanent in the action of the
immanent.
separation.
That's
It's
what I want to
emerging.
distinguish.
Yes.
Right.
Being born.
Exactly.
Well, that's an important distinction.
Yes, sir. Being born all the time.
Exactly.
From where?
Yeah. What's the source?
What is the source and what's the event?
Right?
Right. The source is.
The thought is being born, emerging,
Yes.
growing, coming,
Absolutely.
and going. Right? From where?
Oh, wait a minute, that may be the wrong question, from where? Because you've established in other words, by saying from where, in a sense, you've already defined a definition.
No.
And you've just separated out process from, you've made a distinction which by saying where, you've got a definition.
No. I want to know what's the cause. Put another word for that.
You got to have another. I'm saying, I would say, would prefer is what's the action that arrives in thought.
No, it's what is then? We have to ask, what is action?
Okay. That's
What is the
better.
source of movement?
Yeah, what is
Yes,
this whole
right.
movement?
Okay. When I inspect that question for myself, in myself, the only answer I can get to is it's an unlimited frontier.
Yes.
That is, the moment I am in thought, I have obscured for myself that which I'm asking. Therefore, the source of movement or the source of thought is an unlimited space, which is beyond thought.
I wonder.
About what? What do you wonder?
What is the relationship between thought and action? That's what we are discussing.
Yes, but thought occurs, thought happens.
Yes.
I find myself in thought.
Therefore, it is action.
So,
Yeah.
you just now said thought is born,
Yes.
comes into being, right?
Right.
It must have some causation.
Yes. But in order to see the causation, I do have to put myself out from thought.
We'll see. So we have now to inquire whether it's possible to observe the causation without the observer, who is the outside.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right, sir?
Right. Absolutely.
Right, go ahead.
And the question as you phrase it.
Wait.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So, can one observe the cause without the observer?
That's a...
Let him finish one
Yeah,
more
go
step.
ahead.
No. Let him finish
Sure,
one more step.
Right? Can the causation be observed without the outsider or the observer, the witnesser?
Yes.
Right.
And which means the observer, the person who perceives, is not the observed, the observer.
Say that again.
Yeah, please. Can you say that again?
Say it again, Christian G. Come on, again.
I know, I can't repeat it. I'll put it
I'll put it another way.
There is a perception of you
Yes.
sitting there and I sitting here. When I see you, and you have been introduced to me, and so on, I remember all that memory of it. He's the observer. Can I look at you without the observer? Without the knowledge of you? You understand?
Yes.
Of course I can.
Well, I think we have to go slowly there because it's a great step there.
Yes, you can.
Of course.
Yes.
Therefore, the observer is the observed.
Yes.
There is no separation.
Absolutely.
There is separation only when there is the observer different from the observed.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right?
So that's an observation.
Huh?
That is an observation.
That's real observation.
Yes.
Without the observer.
Correct.
The observer is the past, memory, knowledge, experience.
Yes.
All the observer is the past. Can
Right.
I look at something without the past? Of course it's possible.
Yes.